Welcome to Allie's Attic Show, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a 17-year-old singer-songwriter from Kent, and I get to see her, you guys. She's gorgeous. Her name is Katie Kittermasters. I'm going to say that right. Try saying that like 3 times really fast. Do you have that problem with people messing up your name, Katie? Welcome to my show.
Yeah, I'm so used to it. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Okay, so what time is it there? Just so I know now what time is the difference is the UK to Canada.
Um, yeah, it's 8:30 here in the evening, so just had my dinner.
Oh boy, goodness. Yeah, it's 2:30 in the afternoon here. That's crazy. Okay, so let's talk about like your songs are amazing. You're amazing. Now your vocals are described as haunting and distinctive, and all your writing's based on teenage relationships, which makes, I mean, you're 17. Of course, that's going to be what it's based on. But basically, how old were you when you decided that this is what you wanted to do, or how did you get started?
I honestly think I knew when I was about 3 or 4 years old, which seems unrealistic, but I remember having the solo um, role in the Nativity play, which is sort of a Christmas play that we do over in England, um, and watching Annie the musical, and just knowing that's what I wanted to do. And so I kind of just imitated being her, and one thing led to another, and here we are today. But yeah, so I didn't really start properly singing until maybe I was 7.
Oh,
And I did a lot of musical theatre stuff and just always loved to sing and was just always messing around. And then I think it's only been in the last sort of 2 or 3 years that I've really realised that this is it. This is all I want to do. This is the one thing that just keeps me going and wakes me up in the morning. And so I started playing guitar just 2 years ago, I think, and just sort of taught myself a few chords because it's really aided me in writing. And before knowing how to play guitar, before having my heart broken by some silly
silly
15-year-old
boys.
boy,
Yeah, exactly.
before that point, I wasn't. I really did struggle to write, and so I think there is just a point where it will come to you.
Yeah,
If,
definitely.
yeah, for anyone, I think before then I just hadn't had anything that I was so emotionally attached to that I was able to write about. So yeah, and then ever since then, I guess I've always it's just come a lot more quickly with writing.
A lot easier. I know a lot of people are saying learning a guitar, even a couple chords, really helps in writing. I don't write songs, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, it really, really did help. And I think even just knowing 3 really basic chords, like C, E minor, G, and just using those and using them in different patterns, you can write a ridiculous amount just literally using 3 or 4 chords. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you're also currently studying at Cranbrook School, and you're going to be studying A levels while continuing to develop your music career. Now, I'm in Canada, so I don't know, like, studying A levels, does that mean you want to get A's, or what does that mean?
So A levels is, I don't know what the equivalent is. It's sort of the qualifications that you need to go to university.
Okay.
So it's the last 2 years of school before you can officially leave school and do what you want. So I'm studying psychology, geography, and classics. And I mean, hopefully I will do well, but obviously my main focus is music, and that's all I really want to do. So hopefully after I've only got 1 more year left, and then take the exams, and then if all goes to plan, then I can just fully focus on immersing myself into the music business.
Awesome. Well, at least you have a backup plan, though. I think that's important too.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, you've recently been signed to KRMB Management, that is in Kent.
No, it's a company based in London.
Oh.
So I have a wonderful manager called Kevin, who, yeah, he's just amazing, and we've sort of been in contact for 2 or 3 years now, and he's done some amazing things for me. He's put me in touch with the most amazing vocal coach called Joshua Alamu, who coaches people such as Little Mix and Rita Ora, who I don't know if you know.
Yes.
Them over there. Yeah, it was never a signed agreement until very recently. So we've had enough time to build the trust, which I think is really important with any relationships that you have within this industry, is that you have a strong basis of trust.
Yes. Always surround yourself with good people. Now, you lived in Dubai for 3 years. That must have been awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's a crazy place, and I was lucky enough to have some really incredible experiences there, such as performing for Eva Longoria, 50 Cent, Ricky Martin at the Global Gift Gala Foundation dinner, which was amazing, and singing at the British Embassy for a Help for Heroes gig. So, yeah, aside from all the music opportunities it gave me, it was also the most amazing, crazy place to live in. So, yeah, I definitely need to go back there soon, really.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, you're now okay. So Ricky Martin, when I heard that, then I was like Eva Longoria. I'm like, oh my god. Now, last year you sung at the Bedford in Balham, and the big day out to an audience of 13K alongside Louisa Johnson, Diversity, and Atomic Kitten. Now, I know who Atomic Kitten is. I haven't heard of the other two. So, what was that like being? So last year you would have been 16, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, do you get stage fright?
I used to get really bad stage fright, and I would literally be stood there on stage. I mean, the singing was still okay. I would literally stand there, no emotion on my face, just hands by my side, and I think just getting as much performance experience as I can has really, really helped me to sort of come out of that and actually tell a story, not just through what I'm saying, but through how I'm acting on the stage as well. And it is so, like, being a singer is so much more than just singing.
Yeah.
It's the whole performance that comes with it as well. And so I think, I mean, the whole experience of performing at the Big Day Out was incredible. Obviously, I've never performed to an audience that size before, and to be honest, I didn't really expect it. I wasn't aware that the crowd was going to be so big, but everyone there was so receptive to what I was doing and seemed to enjoy what was going on. So that always helps. And yeah, I just had the most amazing time. I get such a buzz from just performing, so it was great.
I can't imagine. I mean, like, I don't perform at all, so I couldn't imagine. Okay, so this summer you performed at Woodlands Festival. Now, is Hops and Harvest Festival part of Woodlands Festival, or is that a different one?
No, that's a separate one which I have coming up in September.
Okay.
So I was lucky enough to perform there last year, and I'm going again this year, which will be really nice. And but
yeah. And then 110 Above, among a whole bunch of others that you're planning this summer?
So 110 Above is a festival which there are so many artists going to and performing at. So there's a great list of people that I'll be performing alongside, which is really, really cool because as well as performing at these festivals, it's so good just to like stay behind or before, just watch so many other people because you learn so much through watching other people. So I love doing that. It's literally my favourite people, even if it's people I've never heard of. Sometimes that's best because you find so much new music to listen to as well when you get home. So that's great. And then after that, I am lucky enough to be performing alongside Rita Ora, supporting her in Middlesbrough, which is a city in the UK, and then supporting Jules Holland a few weeks after.
Wow.
Cambridge. So some pretty exciting things coming up.
No kidding. Now, your 3 tracks, Can You Hear Me, Kaleidoscope, and T-Shirt, have all been on the radio.
Yeah.
So did you actually hear yourself on the radio, your songs?
Yeah, I have a few times. It's still just as weird every time I hear it. It's sort of like, this is very, very strange. People are talking about me on the radio, and now my song's playing. What is going on? Yeah, it is really, really, really nice that people seem to be appreciating what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so,
that would be amazing to hear. Now, you've also been interviewed by BBC Radio Kent, which is huge. If people aren't aware of BBC, it's a huge radio station in the UK. And you're going to be interviewed again in May?
So I've done 2 interviews with them over the last year and a half, I think, and just gone on and done a few songs live and then have a chat with them after. And I'm going to be going in again, I think sometime in the next month, which will be really, really good. The guys there have been really supportive, so that's always lovely.
Awesome. And you get great airplay throughout the UK through BBC. Now, what about ITV's This Morning?
So, luckily enough, my song Kaleidoscope was actually featured in. Well, this morning is a show that's done by ITV, and it's sort of like your daily breakfast news show, which I don't know, it's quite popular over here.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Kaleidoscope was featured during the fashion section, which was again pretty surreal.
Awesome. Okay, so now you were also inspired by your grandfather, right? Who sadly has passed away numerous years ago. I know what it's like to be really close to your grandfather. I was. Did he sing, or did he just like push you to sing?
No, my grandfather was a massive inspiration. I mean, obviously, I was very young in the time that I did know him, but he was a singer himself. He was in the local choir and loved singing. And I literally recorded a song for him, which is the last thing he heard before he did pass away, which is awfully sad. But yeah, I think it's always been something that I'll hold on to and will always push me to just keep going, no matter how many times get knocked down in this industry. You've just got to keep going, really.
Well, and that brings me to my next question. So if you had any advice to give a teen that was just starting, Katie, like what would you tell them?
I think you've got to literally take any opportunity you can and just go for it. And if there aren't any opportunities, then you've got to make them. And you've got to push people to let you do a set at their pub, or play their songs on the radio, because that's all you can do. You've just got to try your best and just keep going with that, and just take life by the balls.
Oh my god, that was like the best thing I've heard. That is the best advice I've heard from anybody that's been on my show, and I've had like tons of people on. I love that advice, especially from a 17-year-old. That is like you have to. I mean, if you don't, like you're SOL. Okay, so what two songs are we going to hear from you today?
So today we're going to hear Kaleidoscope and T-Shirt, which are two songs that I wrote. I think both over a year ago now.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. And which song? Okay, so you said you wrote a song about the heartbreak from a silly boy. Is one of those that song?
I mean, if you listen to the words in literally pretty much any of my songs, you'll realise that they're all pretty much breakup songs. But I think Kaleidoscope was one that I wrote very early on, and so it is quite raw, but it does sound quite uplifting. So listen to the words and you'll realise that it's actually a little bit sad.
Okay.
And T-Shirt, again, I think you can take it either way. It can be perceived as happy, it can be perceived as sad. Again, it is a breakup song. And I think this one's probably more relatable, maybe.
Okay.
Because it is literally about sleeping in someone's T-shirt, and I think, I don't know, I hope it's not just me that does that. But
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. So people will be able to relate. And that's the one thing I love about songwriting. I don't do it, but having these interviews is hearing where they've come up with the ideas. But songs are so relatable to everybody because we've all gone through the same stuff, regardless of how old we are or where we are or whatever the case may be.
And I think sometimes it's hard to put your feelings out there and actually put into words of what you're actually feeling. So when someone else does it for you, you're like, oh, yeah, perfect. This is how I'm feeling.
Exactly. And then you hit repeat and play it over and over and over again as you're crying. Yeah. Not that I've done that. Anyway, so you can purchase your music online, Katie, as well as your website, which is Kittermaster.com. That's going to be up on my website. People can just click on the link and go directly to yours, find out more about you. And if they're in the UK area, wherever you're going to be performing, they can always go check you out as well. If you ever come to Canada, try to come my way because I would love to meet you in person and actually come and watch your show because that would be amazing. And keep doing what you're doing because you're amazing. I mean, your songs are amazing. Your voice is amazing. So don't ever stop. And thank you so much for coming on my show.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been so nice to speak to you.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic Show. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.